Call the meeting to order. Roll call. Ben.
Here.
Ty.
Here.
Sherry.
Here.
Vernon. Here. Hayden.
Here.
Everybody is here. Would everybody please stand, help me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call to the public. Public comment will be allowed at the mayor's discretion during regular meetings. This is exclusive of items requiring a public hearing. Mayor reserves the right to limit the total amount of time for public comment and or impose a time limit for each speaker at each regular meeting. In order to facilitate input at the mayor's discretion, each eligible agenda item will be provided an opportunity for public comment after the staff and applicant presentations. Please wait to be recognized by the mayor and proceed to the podium. State your name and address. Is everybody here that would like to speak on anything tonight at this point? Okay, and that's a little bit farther down on the agenda. Okay, thank you. Is there anybody online? No, okay. Moving on, consent agenda. I need a motion.
Mr. Mayor, this is Sherry, and I would move that we approve the consent agenda.
I need to make a comment on the consent agenda though.
Okay. I'll have discussion. Go ahead, Vernon.
Okay, on page 6, it's just a typical, well, not a typical, a very unusual spelling of a word. And I pointed it out to the city administrator. So that word needs to change. Instead of us saying lever, it should say letter. So it was just a typo. Page 6, last paragraph. Halfway down.
Any more discussion? Have a motion to have a second?
I'll second.
Have a second and take a vote. Hayden?
Aye.
Vernon?
Aye.
Sherry?
Aye.
Ty?
Aye.
Ben?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Is there any unfinished business at this time? If not, okay, moving on to new business, item number 5. Presentation from Nicole Davis, K-5 STEM Technology Integration Specialist, Baker Lemon School District, USD 458. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
I brought some friends with me as well, but they're gonna go last. I saved the best for last. So I have been very fortunate to work with, especially Maddie here at City Hall, she's kind of my direct contact, on a handful of activities the past couple of years. I've actually been in the district for 8 years. I taught 3rd grade at BIS for 5 years, and then I got into tech at GRE for a year, but I've been STEM and tech for officially 2 years now. From one of the activities we've done over the past couple of years is GRE, our 2nd graders, and then we also brought it to Glenwood this past year. We did a build a city park activity. So it was kind of all about learning how government and economics and then like budgeting and stuff like that go or happen in real life in a city. And it was really cool because last year Innovation Academy at the high school were actually working with the city on building a new park. So they came and helped with the project as well. So not only was it collaborative with the city, but also across secondary and elementary. So that's one activity. I'll go to the next one. Another thing is mapping in our city. So at BIS the past 2 years, we've done an activity where students get to do a little scavenger hunt of different maps that Jean and Maddie have brought with them. And then they also end up doing a debate. So last year the debate was, it was about a roundabout on 155th, whether it should go in or not. This year it was about whether we should build a new city hall or not. And certain students were given roles of maybe being a neighbor or city utility worker, or city hall staff member, or can't remember whatever else right now, but and then they had to argue for or against, and then we had city council members make the official vote in those groups as well. And then last year I helped Greyhawk and Base Intermediate build a STEM week. And so we had some members from the city all come and do a presentation on water treatment. And then we also ended up doing a STEM activity where the kids got to try and filter water, and we learned about like the Great Pacific Garbage Patch and things like that. So not only relating it at our city level, but then also learning about the global connections with that as well. She also came to STEM Week last year, and we have plans for that this year as well too. So, and then one of the most recent activities we've done is at GRE, the third grade students did a local government simulation. And so basically we went through not only understanding what local government looks like, but they actually got to participate in it. So we had an election. If they didn't want to run for an elected position, then they got to apply for a city hall position. And every student in each of those classes had a position, whether they were, like I said, city hall or the government official or just citizen. And then we had forgot what the project was. What was the? Thank you. Yes, we had a zoning issue for a pretend dentist office. So we actually separated the elected officials while the city hall staff members and the planning commission were talking and discussing about the zoning issue, and they got to learn more about how to run a city council meeting. And then we got back together and actually ran the city council meeting. And then they got to vote on that zoning issue. So I brought two of my mayors with me, and they want to share their experiences.
Greetings, city council members and mayor. My name is Brooke Bergune, and believe it or not, I was the mayor. But don't worry, it was just for one day. I was the lesson mayor for my third grade class. We were learning about the city council, the mayor, and how decisions are made in Baker. My class voted and elected the mayor and then other kids, city council members. We put on a pretend meeting where we had to decide if we wanted to let a dentist office be built or not. City council members and myself listened carefully to all the information and decided to approve the building. This was a fun project where I got to use real life skills. My favorite part about it was shaking the mayor's hand and taking the being mayor stuff is tough work. During this project, I learned the mayor must be hardworking, driven, and tough. These are all characteristics in here. Thank you for your time and for helping our school with this project. When I was there, I learned it was important to respect people's opinions about city issues. It was really fun being in there. The favorite part of the government simulation was when everyone shared their ideas with me. And the city council and when we got to vote on the zoning issue. It was funny being a mayor talking to another mayor because the city needs one.
So overall, we just wanted to thank you guys for like collaborate with me so often and being so willing to collaborate, and just continually excited to see what else we come up with and real authentic learning experiences that we provide. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
It was
good
awesome.
job.
Thought it was pretty interesting that some of the questions they thought I was responsible for, like controlling the stoplight up here, handing out tickets, and so I told the chief I needed to get a ticket book. So it was pretty awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. So is any of the council have anything they'd like to comment on?
No, I just really enjoyed it. Thank you. Good job reading too.
Okay. Moving on.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Good job, boys.
They read John.
Let's move on to item number 6, ordinance number 869, an ordinance of the city of Baker, Kansas, establishing the assistance program fund.
Mayor, thank you, Leslie Reverola, City Administrator. At your December 14th City Council meeting, the City Council took action to establish 3 assistance programs, you may recall, and the mechanism by which we would actually fund those programs. We need to establish a new fund, just again, for transparency's sake and for auditing purposes. And so we did consult with our audit team at BT & Co. and they did recommend the establishment of a separate fund to be able to track both revenues and expenditures from that fund. And so what you have in front of you this evening is pretty straightforward. This is the ordinance that would establish that fund in order to be able to account for both those revenues and expenditures. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Does anybody have any questions for Leslie? Yes. I think we're good. So I need a motion on ordinance number 869.
Make sure we add a discussion piece in there for that.
We-
Okay,
Okay, I'm just saying, not something specific for you.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were asking me a question.
we can go ahead and have the discussion first if you want.
Oh, you open for discussion?
Yes.
Okay, I've not been shy about saying that there were 4 prongs. And we're looking at doing 3. And I cannot support not having that 4th prong in there. As with any of these assistance programs, we're looking at the fact that anyone that applies to the program potentially has some challenges. But it still does not eliminate their responsibility for their home or their utility bill or whatever it is that we're looking at assisting them with. From an economic perspective, that 4th prong could help us with business sustainability. Businesses, again, they have a responsibility for taking care of their business. It's not the city's job to bail them out. However, if we're going to be adding assistance, I think we need to add that 4th prong also. It could assist the city with some economic development issues that we recently had with someone coming in and requesting a reasonable amount of funds. I know guidelines have to be established. This business fund might never ever be used, but I'd rather have it in there than have it removed than not have it in there at all. So that's my thought on it.
Does anybody else want to address that?
Is there any other funding sources for businesses? I know a couple years we did have. But I didn't know if there was anything still.
So the City Council does have established or has established some economic development policies which authorize the use of certain incentive tools at the City Council's discretion, of course. During COVID, we did have a business grant relief program, and I cannot recall if it was 1 or 2 businesses that applied and did receive funding from that. That program has since discontinued.
Okay.
And I think it was staff's intention and, very, appropriate point, Councilmember Fields. I think it was staff's intention that we would come back with a more thorough and fleshed out business development program to the City Council at a future date. One of the tools that you authorized as part of the 2023 budget package was funding specific for economic development. And we haven't really defined what that means. And so whether that's a contract, with a company, whether that's some combination of contract with a company that's helping us recruit and retain businesses, in addition to doing some sort of business relief or business assistance, I think there's a lot of opportunity for discussion around that. So I think it would be staff's intention that that would still be coming to the city council at a future date. We just didn't have that information ready when when these programs were ready to go.
Again, I just think that that's, we need to make sure that we look long-term for Baser. And even though we had that small period of time where we're
Mhm.
able to assist businesses. Again, I believe very strongly that businesses need to grow their business. They don't need to look at the city in terms of a handout, even though we do economic development, we do incentives. This program, this fourth prong could assist with the incentive component of what we're doing.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any discussion on that? Hayden, you have any comments? Okay.
No, I'd say let's keep bringing it up at work sessions to discuss but as far as the vote tonight, we need to be able to actually fund into and out of to support the three we have voted on.
Great. Good.
I'm good. Thank you.
Sherry?
No, they answered my questions.
Okay.
so.
So, a call for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve ordinance number 869.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second. I'll take a vote. Ben,
Aye.
Sherry,
I,
Ty,
Aye.
Hayden.
Aye.
Vernon,
No.
4-1. Kathy. Move on to number 7, city administrator and staff reports. Chief, we'll start with you.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. We are moving forward with the 2023 projects that we laid out last year. It's all preparatory as we speak. We are working on filling some of the people that we lost over the last month or so. Have some hopefuls, ever forward.
Lose 2, 1.
We lost 3. With potential. So as it stands right now, we'll probably end up being 4 short. Of those 4, we lost 1 of those 4 to another police department. The other 3 completely out of police work. So
Do you happen to know why we lost them?
all 4.
I try to figure out, is it an employee benefit package? Is this something that we possibly need to enhance? Is it salary and pay? Is it
Sure.
culture? Yeah.
So we lost 1 to True Love.
Oh, here you go.
Out of the profession and moved out of state. We lost 1 to the profession, just thought maybe they'd try something different.
Okay.
Their words, not mine.
Okay.
The 3rd retired.
Good. 3 good
And
reasons.
then the 4th is going from about a 50-minute drive to about 8.
Okay.
So all things beyond our control. I think
Right.
that the work that we continue to do, not only with the mayor, city council, and the city administrator, continues to grow the city as a whole and make salaries and benefit packages better.
Perfect. That's kind of what I was trying to get at, I think, was there something that we could have done better on those 3 or 4 individuals? So sounds like none. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
But
Crystal? Anything?
Yeah, so we are moving, can you hear me? Okay?
They can't hear you on Zoom.
They can't hear me on Zoom. Their ears on this. We are moving forward with the City Hall project. There are several things that we need to take care of with that, but it's going great. Currently getting up to date on the zoning code and regulations to the city of Baser. Not used to not having those memorized, so we're working on getting that done. We are working on overhauling all of the processes that the planning and zoning department should be taking care of, so that it's very clear that there is a single point of contact. The planning and zoning department is essentially the hub for all development, so everybody knows what their role is, where things need to go, where to go to for questions, so we can just really streamline that process.
and make sure that some of that, make sure amenities are being installed, make sure that subdivision improvement agreements are being executed and those sorts of things. So I think in a nutshell, that's pretty much it.
Awesome, thank you. Anybody have any questions for Crystal? Okay. Cameron? You know anything? Kathy?
I have nothing at this time.
Okay, Maria?
Good evening, Mayor, Maria Garcia, City Attorney. Just generally, this is my third week here now, so I'm still, getting acquainted. I'm getting more and more used to it, up to speed, reviewing, getting up to date on the municipal code. I'm reviewing and looking at miscellaneous contracts that the city is currently in with outside vendors or entities. I am looking at policies, internal policies and procedures generally, and, getting ready to potentially make recommendations for any updates that could be appropriate there. And establishing templates for contracts, for example, just things that will help us be more efficient in the future because we would have something to work from more quickly. Should the need arise, but otherwise, like I said, getting up, learning the ropes.
Awesome. It's great to have you on board, you and Crystal both. Leslie?
Thank you, Mayor. I hope that everyone maybe has their calendars available. I thought now might be as good a time as any while we have everyone together to talk about doing a groundbreaking celebration. I realize the time of year is not the most ideal for doing a groundbreaking, but for a project of this size, we thought it would be a nice event. So we had our pre-construction meeting today with Superior Excavating. They are the contractor that the bid was awarded to for mass grading for the Civic Campus for what will become our stormwater pond. And they intend to start mobilizing equipment on the site the first week of February. They do not intend to get started, with tree clearing until the week after, but we were hoping if everyone's schedule would allow, perhaps Saturday, February the 11th might be a good day to try to do a groundbreaking if that would be agreeable.
What time?
I think we can set the time that is most convenient for this body.
6:30 a.m.
It might be a little cold still. I anticipate it will be cold, but that might be really chilly in the morning.
I'm good.
Looks like I'm good.
I think I'm fine too.
I'm
Is-
good too.
Is there a preferred time? Mayor, do you have a preferred time?
I do not have a preferred time. Any time's good for me.
Okay, do we want to shoot for something around maybe like 10 or 11? Would 10?
That's fine with me. It's just okay with everybody else.
I'll be out of the country at that time.
Okay. Sherry, can you make 11 or 10?
Hold on. If you're gonna be out of country, maybe should we look at another date? I mean, that is, I'd assume, is this something that you would like? I would assume that you would like to go to this and,
I'll be out of the state and out of the country for the entire month of February.
oh, well,
We're 1 to March.
Okay.
So just, do what you guys have to do. I just.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to put us behind by any means in it, but at the same time, I definitely would like all of us to have the opportunity to be there.
Yeah. I mean, the groundbreaking is really your ceremony. We could do something other than a groundbreaking we could do ribbon cutting it's not that there won't be anything constructed other than the mass grading is completed, but we could certainly wait until Councilmember Fields is back and do something when he's back, once
I
the
guess
site's
my thought
graded.
We have a great council, and I know the council will know that I will be with them in spirit. I think that to have it hinging on one person that, has had these plans for a while, that we can, I don't mind not being there, just Photoshop me in if you have to.
All right,
Okay,
okay.
well,
I just want,
feel free to Photoshop you in.
okay, I just wanted to make sure if
Yeah,
there was.
yeah.
At 10 o'clock?
So we will we will set the calendar for February the 11th at 10 a.m. We'll distribute calendar invites to everyone, and we'll start making plans to get hopefully a nice event scheduled, and it'll be brief because I recognize the weather may not be ideal conditions for that. Speaking of the Civic Campus site, we also had a design meeting this morning with Hafer Welker on where we are on the City Hall package. And so I just wanted to take a brief second to scroll through some of the interior finishes or renderings. So the photo that you have in front of you is the lobby or entry space. Once you're into City Hall, the area on the left side of the screen is really the customer service counter. That's where people will come to do transactions. And then kind of the opaque glass that you're seeing is actually the walkway between your council chambers and back to the city council or governing bodies private closed meeting room. And so behind that wall is actually intended to be a small seating area where you could come and have meetings with, residents if necessary, and be able to do that in a place that's not your home. So Cameron, I think and this is just another vantage point from if you walk through the front door at what will be the new City Hall. The nice doors to your right is the entry point to your new council chambers. This is what we anticipate to be the rendering of the city council chambers. Once you're inside that space, there is an exterior door that would go out onto the Civic Campus. Lots of natural light. The reason why you don't see any kind of symbol in that meeting space is we actually talked today about perhaps having the city council weigh in on, do you want it to be, this city logo that you have now, or do you want some other, artwork or what would you like in that space? So really kind of your space to help build out. But as you can see, technology enhancements and this has ample seating for your public. This is the open office area. So plenty of space for employees to work and have nice, again, good quality access to natural light, which we're very excited about. Cameron, you can keep scrolling. And then something that is tremendously coveted right now is someplace to eat. Right now, the only space really left for employees to eat is at their desk. And as you know, we do have employees who are at the front counter, and so that's not an ideal setting. And so this will be a very nice addition to the space. And I think and then the exterior. And then this is, again, just kind of a reminder of where we are in terms of overall just kind of design from the outside. So again, huge thank you for all of your support. We're very excited. This project is progressing very nicely. We are getting a little bit anxious about what we're hearing happening in the bidding environment. A similar project in terms of size. It was a police facility on the Missouri side, just bid at $600 a square foot. That's a gut punch. That is not a number that we have been prepared to hear. And so we've actually we had some cost savings on some of the design elements of this space. We found some efficiencies in a couple of areas. And so we've actually brought in an independent third party to help us review design and construction estimates to give us that flexibility to be able to respond in more real time to what they're seeing in the market. So we just don't want to have a huge surprise when we get to the bidding of this project, but that $600 square foot number about knocked me out of my chair. So as of right now, we are scheduled to have a complete plan set ready for bid as early as March the 3rd. And with anticipation of receiving those bids back by mid-April. So we could potentially be looking at a city council award probably as early as your May city council meeting. So that is all very exciting news. And that is all I have, unless you have any questions, Mayor.
No, I don't. Is Chrissy online?
She's not.
She's not. Okay. So I guess I didn't miss anybody else.
You did not. This is the team today.
Okay. Moving on, to item number 8, council members report. Vernon?
I don't have much. I did go to represent the county at the Mark Board yesterday. Well, I have.
Thank you, sir. Sherry.
I attended the Leavenworth County Economic Development Annual Luncheon up in Leavenworth. It was a great turnout. We learned a lot about the new airport coming. So, also I did attend at the VFW this week along with the mayor and Maddie, Wilbur's 100th birthday party, and that was awesome. Full house, very crowded, and it looked like he really enjoyed himself. We had a lot of good stories. And then tomorrow I'm going to go back to the VFW and it'll be the student and teacher event. And so I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. Thank you. Good.
To kind of second what Sherry had said, we did attend the LCDC annual meeting. Was it last Friday? Is that when it was?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the days are running by. So yes, that was quite the event. It was really nice to go to. So lots to take away, lots to talk about. I guess the new airport's going to be amazing. I mean, everything's going to be local within the airport, as well as there's going to be a barbecue contest. As they've stated, that if you win the barbecue contest, you get a year contract in the airport, which is unbelievable to say the least. But really cool to sit through and listen to. So didn't have much else after that.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Hi.
I'll be really quick. I just thought it was interesting that our sales tax in December was down 8% from the prior year. So it'll just be interesting to watch between what I call a recession, but the government's not yet, and with everything going on, to see if that's kind of a continuing trend. And that's really all I have.
Thanks. Hey,
Yeah, just one note, since it sounds like Vernon's probably out for the work session next week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is, I will also be out of town for that one. So just wanted to note that. February 8th, work session.
okay, actually, that's been moved to February the 14th.
Okay, perfect. I know we had talked about it, but still had it on the 8th. Okay.
So
Good, I would have missed the 8th also.
That's why we did it.
So you're both here on the 15th.
Yes.
Okay, then we have a quorum.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Vernon won't be here that day
I'll
though.
be here.
Right, but if the two of them are here, then if
We'll be okay.
Sherry and Ben are here, then we have. a
Yeah.
quorum.
Kathy
If
keeps my
Vernon,
invites somewhere.
Ty and Taden are gone, then no meeting because we don't have a quorum.
So I think we're good on that. Then moving on to the mayor's report. Margaret, be at Falcon Lakes. We set a time is 11 o'clock. Noon at noon that day. If you all can attend, that'd be great. Bring your spouse and have dinner and listen to the presentation. So,
Say again, what date?
March the 28th. Thank you.
Sorry, I was doing that.
Then it was nice at the LCDC meeting last week to see pictures of the new airport, and I have a time to schedule to go tour it, but after I saw the pictures last week, I'm not sure I need to do that now. So but it's gonna be real nice to have that in Kansas City. It's about time. We've had many years of kind of a boring airport. So that's all I've got. So moving on to 10, we don't need an executive session.
We do not.
Okay. I need a motion for an adjournment, and then we are going to have to open up for the special meeting.
Mr. Mayor, I move we adjourn.
I have a motion of second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I vote. I need a motion to open up the next meeting. I guess we don't need to open it up that way. We need roll call first. According to this, okay, I'll do roll call. Vernon?
Here.
Sherry?
Here.
Ben?
Here.
Aye.
Here.
Hayden?
Here.
I vote. Special meeting, authorize the mayor to act in the capacity of chairperson of the board and authorize him to sign the release of a permanent access easement recorded on July 5th, 2017 as document number 2017R05368 and on October 24th, 2017 as document number 2017R08763 respectively.
Thank you, Mayor. Leslie Riverola, City Administrator. Just a few items to get this topic introduced to the Land Bank Board of Trustees. One, the city land bank was established by ordinance in March of 2021. The purpose of the land bank is set out in that ordinance. It is to act as a centralized point of contact for individuals and developers interested in acquiring developable, vacant, and abandoned land within the city of Basehor. Land banks in Kansas are governed by a board of trustees, which is to be appointed by the governing body. The board of trustees can be the governing body itself, which is what this board has elected to do. Tonight, the City Land Bank Board of Trustees has been assembled to consider authorizing the mayor in the capacity as the chairperson of the board to release permanent access easements recorded on July 5th, 2017 as document number 2017R05368 and on October 24th, 2017 as document number 2017R08763 respectively. This is related to a project that the city has been working on for many, many months and in some cases, years. And the city of Basehor is under contract to purchase land over which it is the holder of some of these two stated permanent access easements. This easement is held in the name of the Basehor Land Bank, and in order to clear title to the tract, and because the city no longer requires this easement over the land which it will own, the Basehor Land Bank, by and through its chairperson, should release a particular permanent access easement. Mandy Hunter, who has been our legal counsel, helping us through these transactions, is on Zoom this evening. And at this point, I would absolutely turn it over to Mandy to provide any additional details.
Hi, everyone. Leslie, my screen says I can't screen share while you are sharing.
Okay, we're going to stop sharing and now
Okay.
you should be able to share.
Perfect. Okay. There we go. Let's see. Okay. Can you see that? You cannot see that. Okay, hold on. Bear with me, everybody. Here we go. There we go. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody, it's been a while since we've spoke. I think the last time we met was in August or September where we put this property under contract. What you're looking at right now is part of the survey of the land that the city is going to be acquiring. The city is going to be acquiring all of the land that is within the dark black boundary. So it goes all the way over here. So here, let me zoom out a little bit. So what we've got tonight is there are two easements. Like Leslie said, one is here. If you see my cursor over on Hickory Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that land, there's an access easement there. And that land is already owned by Basehor Land Bank. The other access easement is right here. It's at the end of Basehor Boulevard, over to the right of the screen. That is also on land that is owned by Basehor Land Bank. The goal is to close on this property on Friday, and we just need the land bank, the authorized person for the land bank, which could be the mayor, to sign off on releases that we prepare. You will no longer need those access easements because you already own that property. Does anybody have any questions?
So that portion of it is already owned or would be owned pending closing?
So see up here to the top, like to the top, to
Right.
this says owner is land bank. So anything to the north of the black line is already owned by the land. This is owned by the land bank, all of this north of, or all at the top of Baser Boulevard. The city owns this part down here, or the school district owns this part down here. Next to that, the land directly adjacent to the school district is also land bank. The city is acquiring everything within the black boundary. But
Right, so I
you
guess-
already, the city, the Baser Land Bank owns this property, but it's showing up as an exception on your title report. And the goal is to get those exceptions removed so that they are not on your title policy going forward.
Okay, perfect. I was just confirming if there needed to be something about pending completion of the contract or something, but sounds like it's
No.
already ours, so doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah, it's already correct. You hit the nail on the head. It's already yours, so it won't hurt anything.
Perfect. That's all I had.
Good. Thank you, Mandy.
No problem. Anybody need any other questions?
Sharon?
I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good, Mandy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you would want to accept a motion to authorize you to act in capacity.
Would the motion be that entire?
That'd be great.
I move we authorize the mayor to act in the capacity of chairperson of the board of trustees for the city land bank and authorize him to sign the release of a permanent access easement recorded on July 5th, 2017 as document number 2017-RO5368 and October 24th, 2017 as document number 2017-RO8763 respectively.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any discussion on it? I'll take a vote. Ben?
Aye.
Ty?
Aye.
Sherry?
Aye.
Vernon?
Aye.
Hayden?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Need a motion for an adjournment?
Mr. Mayor, I move we adjourn.
Have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Ready in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's 5-0.